Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. A little bit of a late night video, mainly because we've been feeling a little bit underneath the weather. We'll probably get back to a pretty normal upload schedule, stream schedule, and stuff very, very soon, as I've kind of just been kind of feeling really, really bad. But as we've been kind of going through this stuff, we actually do have two kind of really big Call of Duty stories going on. Number one, we actually have a really, really kind of big issue when it comes to Call of Duty, where they're actually now caught stealing. Like, you guys heard this correctly. Caught stealing and pretty much caught red-handed over here from a pretty big artist, where technically it's just not going too good. They basically completely ripped a normal site for a one-for-one. It got called out over here up on Twitter, and basically everyone's calling out Call of Duty. But as well, we've also now been seeing even more bigger issues too in regards to the game itself basically falling apart. We covered this a little bit more on the earlier in the day video when it comes to PlayStation, but it does kind of seem like pretty much everything has just been going wrong these past 2 days when it comes to Call of Duty and as well with Activision. So we got a lot of stuff to go talk about, a lot of things to go bring on up. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for the PS5 and all that good stuff. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream as well if you guys want to follow. We have the Target links. Keep on checking those on up. And let's dive in the video. So one of the very first big things, I want to go bring up the plagiarism cause, because this actually went very, very viral over here when it came to Twitter. So as we have an artist over here called Selin over here, who has basically said and called out Call of Duty, stating, "I have to explain this matter. COD Vanguard Samoy skin plagiarization," where they have the art station work over here on the artwork itself. On top of this, which I do believe this is something that they themselves have actually made in general. As you guys can see, the kind of, like, so you guys get like the nice visual, you could look at it. You see this cute little dog, you got the little ears, you got the outfit, got the boots, got the color scheme, the scarf, and all of this. But then the next thing is you can kind of go and do the comparison that they brought up over here, showcasing and bringing up over here everything from Call of Duty. So basically stating that to everyone, "Hello everyone, I am Sailin. I'm the original artist that the upcoming COD Vanguard Samoyed skin was plagiarized from. I only just found out at the time of the announcement that my work was plagiarized. Even though I'm also a COD player, I'm very disappointed to see my work being plagiarized by a big company like Activision in this way. I have reached out to Activision for an explanation and/or compensation, and hopefully the situation will be settled soon. As an individual artist, I can only do so much. I have to speak out about this to stop things like this from happening again in the future." So you guys can kind of see a lot of these very, very similar comparisons, where, like, if you look at it, it's pretty much spot on. I mean, like, you guys could agree or disagree or whatever, but, like, just the amount of stuff tied on into it is ridiculous. Good example is on just the character model itself. That's just pretty much bare bones. You can always do like a wolf, but more so look at the reference picture on the right. Look at the scarf too as well, with very similar patterns, color style, everything else too as well tied on in. The outfit color, the actual like little weird thing on the back on top of that, as you guys can see, the little like pouch mixed on in. You have all the side pouches too. You have the arm things too, like the arm, like shoulder pads, I guess like knee pads or whatever. You also look at the actual bottom outfits, which is also just, it's pretty much like very, 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 very similar. You can see pretty much everything tied together, like the color scheme, the character scheme, the model scheme. Like, I would be surprised if someone's like, "Hey, it's not the same." Like, I think this is, to me, this is looking pretty similar. And as well, we usually do see a lot of artists just, like, they'll look through art, they'll look on, like, you know, random websites, development websites, whatever it may be, and then they usually try to get good ideas of what to make next. And this kind of seems like what someone maybe did. They may have saw the tweets, Instagram post, or general post, and they're like, "Oh, hey, this will be an awesome skin," and then they basically try their best to, not fully 1-to-1, but this kind of looks like a 1 to like 95, if even that. And that's pretty close. So we've had a lot of folks out here have a chance to call them on out, and this is also in regards to for the new Warzone Season 4 Reloaded patch notes too as well. Which is also even more weird because you can kind of compare it to the normal characters tied on in, and then you just have one completely off the wall over there that doesn't really go and compare. As well, you can also see their other various guns, the Flu Fury, and all this type of stuff for the bundles. There's also been apparently other callouts too as well when it comes to this. They also copied Amoro's logo, LMAO, and we've been seeing just a lot of big plagiarization coming on out too as well. Like, we've been seeing some stuff tied in with this. We have like the gorillas, we have the artwork and stuff, and people keep on pulling a lot of this stuff out where Activision artists are essentially just ripping a lot of these concepts and go from this. Now, some of these you could go and say whatever, or they're unique concepts, but it is a very strange coincidence where this does keep on happening when it comes to Call of Duty. Now, then it also kind of goes and dives into even more, because we've actually been seeing a lot more negativity when it comes to Call of Duty as of today, where Call of Duty now keeps bleeding millions of players, and we kind of reported on this earlier on today too as well, where we had Sony, and they were basically like, hey, Call of Duty is a very hard game to compare to and a pretty hard game to beat. We don't have the team, we don't have the money. But in all honesty, we keep on seeing really big negative news all around Call of Duty. So Activision's blockbuster franchise flounders in the wake of Vanguard. So success is a relative. Many gaming companies would kill for a blockbuster franchise that's an annual top seller, like Call of Duty, but for embattled publisher Activision, anything short of top billing month after month isn't enough. And Call of Duty has recently been falling short even more and more and more. That's all in regards to Blizzard's earning reports, where the publisher revealed in its latest earnings report that its games lost over 30 million players, as we touched on earlier on today, in the last year alone. While Activision has published games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Crash Team Racing in the past, the bulk of its monthly active users come from Call of Duty, which I think a lot of you guys would probably agree. By the end of March 2021, the number was 150 million. Yesterday, Activision revealed to has actually fallen down to just 94 million. That speaks across the broad struggles across the franchise, but especially in Vanguard, the newest Call of Duty game released last fall. This campaign was a brief and underdeveloped hodgepodge of World War II globe-trotting, and the multiplayer didn't fare much better. In June 2021, the previous year's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was the second best-selling game. In June 2022, Vanguard didn't even make the list. And it kind of just goes to showing how bad everything's been. So you have Activision over here with 127, that goes into 119, that goes to 107, to 100, to 94. Then you have Blizzard right after, with the 26, 26, and overall broad gaming decline, but nice little pick up to 27. Then you have King over here too at 255, 245, 240, 250, 240. So it kind of seems like the Activision side, well, more so on the Call of Duty end, does seem a lot lower than expected. Activision's monthly active user count more than doubled after it released Call of Duty Mobile in 2019 and then Call of Duty Warzone in 2020, which I'm still hyped up for Warzone 2. But growth in these areas seem to be backsliding or flat at best. Warzone has struggled in part because of delays, bugs, and crossover updates tied to Vanguard earlier on this year. The company's solution to all of this is simple: more Call of Duty, which, in all honesty, sometimes that's not the answer. Sometimes it's not even worthwhile to maybe take a year off, do some delays, or even maybe try to prioritize the focus on the BR, or even Call of Duty Mobile, which does seem to be a pretty big, heavy hitter. So the company confirmed in its report that it's doubling down on every facet of the military shooter, claiming the end of the year will usher in a new era. Now, it might be a little bit easier with Microsoft also footing the bill and talking about it, but at the end of the day, it's very intriguing to see what they're going to be doing next. So basically, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out October 28th, which I can't wait to play. And Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 Experience will be the spun-off of that. And Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is still also in the works, though Activision didn't deny Bloomberg's report that a major Call of Duty plan for that had been delayed, which obviously you don't really have to delay it, because then people just could be confused of is the most recent Call of Duty delayed? And they're like, no, it's the next year's one, don't worry about it. So it's probably better to whenever this game's all fully out than talk about it. Or more around this cycle where it's been out for 10 months, and then you can maybe be we might delay it a little bit, we might wait a year for the Activision deal to go through, so Daddy Microsoft doesn't yell at us, stuff like that. And also, if none of this works well and it's no longer CEO Bobby Kotick and the rest of Activision Blizzard's leadership problems, unless it hits regulatory snags with the newly emboldened Federal Trade Commission, the company will be sold to Microsoft for $69 billion by next summer. I still think Microsoft kind of got a bad deal, though, because that was pretty much right at the peak of the market, and then everything has pretty much gone down pretty heavily since then. If I was them, I almost would want a regulatory issue to kind of backtrack out and then try maybe in a second attempt if it was possible legally. Current executives will be on the hook for millions in bonuses, even as many current employees still call for greater accountability on discrimination and other reported workplace issues at the publisher. So basically, we've had a lot of issues today with Call of Duty. More so, I think the bigger issue still is all this big plagiarization. I'm not a big fan of people who do this. Probably one of my biggest quipes when it comes to games, and it does look pretty close. So we're going to talk about this, I guess, in general. But Call of Duty has not had a pretty good 48 hours in the limelight, so hopefully the next upcoming Call of Duty trailer can be a pretty big winner, so we can get some positive vibes with that. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Webull Coinbase Target links and all that good stuff as well down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Give me your thoughts and comments down below.